Yes, we will talk about the next topic, that is, let me clear this. So, India's regional trade agreement. So, let us talk about the next one, that is India's regional trade agreements. Okay, so now Indian trade policy has made an important shift since 1991. So when we have gone for globalization and trade liberalization and other market reforms also, now the next big event, okay, in world trade is setting up of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, in 1995. Okay, so previously it was GATT and now it has been shifted to World Trade Organization. So the successive rounds of World Trade Organization have made rules of the trade game. Lots of changes have happened, and you can see these changes of especially the Doha round, okay, which happened in 2001. Okay, and if you can also see, there's a development which is called as regional groupings have happened of RTAs and FTAs. Now various countries are signing with each other with agreements also. And yes, there is a preferential trade union. So preferential trade union is there. Okay, so two or more countries can form a trading union, and they can, this way, they can reduce the tariffs on imports of each other. So they maintain their individual tariffs against the rest of the world. And then India has also tried to include itself in the free trade area. Okay, so here also two or more countries can come together and abolish all the tariff duties on their trade, but retain the individual tariffs against the lots of taxes. The next comes is the custom union. So here also they can abolish all among themselves and adopt a common tariff barrier for the imports. Okay, and yes, India is also trying to establish itself in the common market. So it is a form when two or more countries form a custom union, and in addition also allows free movement of factor of production among the member countries. So there is land, labor, capital, which is, there's a free movement, okay, between the member countries. Okay, and yes, then come is EU, which is very famous, the euro. So economic union. So yeah, this is the highest form of integration when two or more countries form a common market in addition, and they harmonize, and the monetary and the fiscal and the exchange rate, everything is managed there. So all above the forms of integration have created a great trade regions also. Okay, so internationally, if you say, India's regional and free trade agreements have done a great job, and India has done agreements with APTA, that is Asia Pacific Trade Agreements, and India has also partnered with Bangladesh, China, South Korea, India, Sri Lanka, Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam. Okay, and then also you have lots of agreements which India has done. So let us see one by one the agreements which India has done. So the first that India has done is with APTA, that is Asia Pacific Trade Agreements, that is with Bangladesh, China, South Korea, India, Sri Lanka. Okay, the second one India has one done with ASEAN. So that is Indian or trade, ASEAN trade in goods agreement. So this India is trade with Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and also India. Then the next agreement India is with BIM, BIMSTEC. So that is the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical Economic Cooperation. Yes, so it is the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical Economic Cooperation. So this includes Bangladesh, India, Thailand, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Nepal. India is also associated with IBSA. So that is India, Brazil and South Africa agreement. So here India, Brazil and South Africa is involved. The fifth one is SAFTA. So that is South Asian Free Trade Agreement. So here India is trading with India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Maldives. Yes, then there is a trade with two countries, that is India and Sri Lanka, that is FTA. So here India and Sri Lanka is trading. Then there is also a trade between Malaysia and India also. So India and Malaysia comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. Okay, so then we have the next one. Let me continue. We have India, Singapore comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. Okay, and yes, we again have the next one, that is India, Japan, similarly comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. And then we also have India, Korea, which is India, Korea means I'm talking about is South Korea, where India's Korean comprehensive economic cooperation, which partners are there of each other. And then we have India and Chile also. So here India and Chile is there. Then we also have trade relations with India and Afghanistan. Okay, then we have India and Bhutan. Okay, then we have India, Nepal. Okay, and yes, we also have with EU, that is European Union. So India is also one of the members of the European Union and India. Okay, so India is also there. Then India is also a member of MERCOS, that UR and FTA. So that is MERCOS is the countries where Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay and Uruguay. So this is all with South America. So India is also tied up with South America. Let us continue. The list is a lot. Then we have India, ASEAN Trade in Services agreement. So here we have, in this we have Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam and India. Then we also have trade relation with India and Thailand. Okay, so this is also there. Yes, so these were the trade relations which we have. The last topic of today we will talk about is the World Trade Organization. So let's just talk about the World Trade Organization. So that is WTO. So now the brief history was that it is replaced by GATT. Okay, and it was established in 1944. Okay, now the GATT was established along with the Bretton Woods twins of IMF and the World Bank. Now, what is the agenda of the WTO? It is to help to the global economic recovery, and it also supports the global development by promoting free trade and free market, and it also helps to champion the cause of free trade by allowing the seamless movement of goods and services across the international boundaries. Okay, so now if you remember who are the member countries, let us see. So the member country is, as I said, GATT. The previous name of World Trade Organization was GATT. Was signed in Geneva, that is in Switzerland, by 23 countries. That is initially. Okay. Now the membership has increased in the coming years, and by the time Uruguay round, So that was in South America. So Uruguay round in 1986, okay, and then the next round of conference was in Marrakesh, which is in Middle East, 1995. So there the members also increased. It was 123 members, and yes, there was again a Marrakesh round which led to WTO. So basically WTO came in power in 1995, okay. Now what are the disadvantages of WTO? Let us see the shortcomings. So yes, disadvantages or shortcomings of WTO. So first, it lacked institutional structure. Okay, the second is it didn't cover. Okay, so it didn't cover, say for example, trade in services. Okay, so there was no trade in services. Then there was no trade in intellectual property rights. Okay, and its main focus was on textile. So main focus was on textile and agriculture sector. Okay, so apart from that, there was a strong fight or dispute resolution mechanism was absent, and GATT was the biggest failure, and it was not being able to persuade or help or force the other countries to remove the tariffs and the non-tariff barriers. So that was because of this the WTO was having a lot of shortcomings. Okay, and that is why the WTO is based on series of trade agreements which was negotiated during the Uruguay round, that is in 1986-1994, and then finally after the Marrakesh Treaty which was established, the WTO was also established. Okay, so that is why this is very important. So the Uruguay round was very important. And now let us talk about the major agreements. Okay, so we have the major agreements of WTO here. So yes, major agreements of WTO. So first, it is a member of agreement of General Agreement on Trade in Services, that is called as GATS. Okay, and then GATS is again related to TRIPS, that is Trade Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, and also it also settles dispute. So dispute settlement. Okay, so this is the basic agreement which is done. Okay, and that is very, very important also. Now the developed countries also need to reduce the value and the volume of export subsidies also. So this is also very, very important. Now these are the major agreements also. Okay, now there is also domestic support under WTO which is divided. So let us study about the domestic support. Yes, so domestic support under WTO. So that is called as green box, which is further divided into blue box and amber box. Okay, so as I said, domestic support is divided into three kinds of boxes. Each have a different kind of subsidies and discount. So green box subsidies are considered to be a minimum trade in terms of production and trade, and direct income support schemes are there in this green box. So like if you want any research and development, providing extra income to farmers, etc., this falls under the category of green box. What is blue box? So blue box are considered somewhat which is less, if there is any distortion between the trade. So they provide them subsidies, they reduce the quotas. So blue box subsidies are allowed for only exempting any reduction of any quotas and trades, okay, like quotas or any import bills, where if you want to reduce, then only we use is the blue box. Now, what about amber box? So, amber box subsidy, they constitute all forms of domestic support that is considered trade distortion by encouraging excess production. So, amber box helps you in excess production. So, under the WTO principle also, amber box subsidies create trade distortions because they encourage excessive production through farm subsidies to fertilizers, seeds, electricity and irrigation. Now, within the amber box, there's a minimum amount of subsidy that the WTO will permit, and which was there in the year 1986 and 88 prices, okay? So that is what is this all about. Now, for the first time, trade in services like banking, then insurance, travel, transportation, movement of labor was brought within the ambit of this WTO also. Okay, so this is very very important points. I hope you understand. Now, India and WTO. So what is the relation of India and WTO? So India is one of the 23. So India was there at the time of inception. That when the members were only 23, India was already a member of WTO. So India is also a leader group like G33 and G77, representing the least developed countries. Okay, so India in initial years, due to its policy of import substitution and protecting the infant industry, was never very active in negotiation. But now India is very very active. Okay, so India has signed the ITA agreement. Okay, then India is also involved in global e-commerce agreement which is signed. So and yes, certain negotiations have also been failed in the WTO. Okay, but going forward, India has done a lot of that it is involved in many negotiations in WTO. So that is very very important. Yes, so now as I said, I am ending the class, as I said, because these are the recent WTO negotiations. So the first one is the Doha round, then the Dumping Act, okay, and also in October 2000 level also there were efforts of the G20 summit which India participated, okay, and they also wanted lot of agreements to be changed, okay, and there were 15-17 members who were involved. So India had participated in this, okay. So as I said, India at the Bali conference, so India was also active at Bali conference, okay, where it ended in lots of things. Also they wanted to remove the red tapes, the reduction of administrative barriers to trade. So as I said, India has participated in many conferences of the WTO, and in the near future also it will participate. Okay, so I will see you in the next class with a new chapter. Thank you so much.